Hey, in this video, we're going to be talking about having the courage to be disliked. This is a superpower. This is a superpower you will develop when you really connect to your true self. So I kind of want to talk about this. There's also a book up with the same name called The Courage to Be Disliked. This video is nothing to do with the book, right? I've got the book. I haven't really read it enough to talk about it. So yeah, if you clicked on the video thinking I'm talking about the book, I'm not. But I'm talking about this topic. Right, I'm just going to give you my perception on this topic based upon my own life journey. So we live in a world now where we need to conform, right? We need to conform to social rules, values, the culture, and essentially that's kind of good, right? We want to feel like we're part of the community, we're connected, and we're kind of living our lives the right way. But this is kind of going too far now, and a lot of people, not just due to the culture, but through their own conditioning, conform a little bit too much. And when you conform too much, you kind of forget who you really are, right? You kind of forget your authentic self. And so you might always be trying to people please, which is something I talked about in my last video, or you might be worrying about what people are thinking about you. You're always shaping your behavior based upon these things, right? And that really kills any authentic expression of who you are. You just don't want to be disliked. You do not want to be rejected, and you'll do whatever it takes. You'll change yourself so this never happens. So you never have to really feel rejection. You never have to feel someone not liking you. You're terrified of it. And I do feel like evolutionarily this served a purpose, like thousands of years ago. If you did something very bad, very wrong, obviously you'd be kicked out of the tribe and your chances of survival would diminish greatly. So it did have some evolutionary purpose, right? And I still believe that. I just feel like it's got hijacked in our modern culture now, and people are just not really living who the truth of who they're meant to be because they're scared. There's so much social pressure to conform to certain ideas and certain ways of being, and if you dare speak out or do anything against that, then you're a bad person. Okay? And there's a lot of fear underneath this. A lot of unconscious psychological fear, which, like I said, not only comes from the culture, but probably comes through trauma and your own upbringing. That is probably where it originates, and then the culture just reinforces it. So if you grew up with a lot of trauma and negative programming, you might have learned to always like people please, or you were afraid of rejection, so you never really spoke up or stood up for yourself or had much of a voice, because that was your greatest fear. Now that fear has become a part of your personality, a part of your character. So when you show up in the world, it's kind of running you in the background. You don't even know it's running you. A lot of people don't. They think that's just who I am. It's not really who you are. You have forgotten who you are. And if you were able to develop the courage to be disliked, right? Not intentionally, you don't go out there trying to piss people off so they don't like you. You just realize that you cannot make other people happy. It's not your responsibility to please other people. Your responsibility is to, first and foremost, is to please yourself. Is to meet your own wants and needs. And you need to put that first. You need to lead with that. When you lead with your own wants and needs and think, you know what, I'm going to get my own needs met first, and hopefully then I can help meet other people's needs. That's how it should be. Not you sacrificing yourself because you're scared, because you're scared someone might reject you or they might not like you, and then trying to kind of meet their needs in some weird type of way which never actually satisfies them either, because they just think you're a bit weird, because actually you're being manipulative. That's what's going on. When you're not being authentic and real, you're manipulative. You might think, okay, I'm just this nice person. No, you're not. You're manipulative. That's a harsh truth for many people to accept. The truth is, you've got to start speaking what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and start doing the things that you want to do, right? Regardless of what anybody else is saying or doing, you have to start doing you as fully as possible. And when you start to live like this, people are going to get upset. People are going to reject you. People are not going to like you. But it beats living in this kind of middle space where a lot of people are. They're in this like weird place where people don't really like them. They don't really hate them. They don't really think much about them. They're just nice. Is that where you want to spend the rest of your life, in this kind of weird grey zone? It's probably better to be hated, at least you know where you stand. But obviously a lot of people are so afraid of being disliked that they stay in this weird place. And a funny thing happens when you make the choice that you will just be yourself. You almost force other people to make a decision about you. They either like you or they don't like you, right? You stop being in his weird middle space of just being nice. And you might think, oh my God, that's so bad. Like, a lot of people might dislike me. What will happen is, if you have the courage to be disliked, more people will actually start to like you. Believe it or not, because you will be shown authenticity. People appreciate authenticity. They might not always agree with what you're saying or doing, but they will respect you. And more people will actually like you because you're real. Okay? Obviously, some people are going to dislike you. Even if you're in the middle ground, people are still going to dislike you. But it's worth the risk. So take the risk. Take the gamble. Fuck it, basically, is what I'm telling you to do. It doesn't matter if people don't like you. You can't go through your whole life trying to get people to like you. You will only start to connect to your authentic self when you start to own that, speak that, be that, become that, whatever it takes. And that's how you're going to be the happiest as well. Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about in the video. It's pretty much all I've got to talk about. I hope this helps some of you out. Like I said, this is the path to your true self. It's to honor you first. Okay? But yeah, that's all I've got. Thank you for watching. God bless.